Citizen Television.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Cosmic Kev, your host. I've got my Planetary t-shirt on right now. And I want to say a special thanks to Arnie and Sherry Greif, even though they're not together as a couple anymore. They're really cool friends of mine in college, and one of the last times, I think the only time I got to see the Dead at the Frost, I met her there, and this was like 22 years ago or something at least, and she gave me this t-shirt and I still wear it. It's still wearable. That's just what's unbelievable, and so I just thank them for that. And I also want to say, hey, it's Virgo time. This is in the United States of America. It's a big special weekend we're coming up on, Labor Day weekend, and my grandparents' generation, the people that were really, and people maybe even my great-grandparents' generation, people that were adults, so young adults, whether it was from the 1880s all through the 1930s, they fought really hard for 5-day work week, labor laws against children, and unionizing so people get a decent living wage. And I mean, a lot of this type of stuff has really kind of shrunk down in the last 33 years here in America. It's unfortunate. I mean, part of it's overpopulation, so it's like a reasonable course of action. You know, things are going to go that way. Eventually, the trough goes empty. And also there's a lot of greedy people that are taking way more than their share of what they need to. And I think as a Virgo rising and in Virgo time, Virgo represents labor, represents a worker, and represents people that might not be of all great means. And, it's really important to honor those that are weaker than you. And like when we go in my teachings of Jyotish, which is the Indian Vedic astrology, they say on a Wednesday, we honor Mercury. We wear green. We help women. We help older people. We give green grass to a cow. These are ways of, creating good karma for yourself. Now, the other thing is over here in Northeast California, we're really close to Northwest Nevada, where Burning Man takes place, and this is when the man burns this weekend. And it's a huge festival, and I guess I've heard there was going to be like 68,000 people there this year. It's a lot of stuff. There's really cool things that catch on fire and all kinds of pyrotechnics and electronic lights and really fun art cars and people having a good time and not having to wear clothes or anything, and painting yourself up and wearing costumes. It's good. Whenever people are festive and whenever they share, it's a good thing. And when I think of like particularly the natural lifestyle or whatever, the au natural, or whatever they call it there, is that the naturist, they are Virgo-like because they renounce clothing, so you don't need it. You can be in your all-together in your birthday suit and everything's cool. And that simplicity they say it's good for you psychologically, and so in Virgo time, we're busy. And in the old days, our busyness was about communities stopping whatever their occupation was and helping with the harvest. And living in the northern Sacramento Valley, which is a place with lots of small farmers, and lots of water too, although other people are trying to take all that away from us. There's a preciousness that comes when everybody shares and work together in a commonality in a community. It really unites you. And I'm not talking about company store, but when this week Joe's Fuji apples are coming in, and then next week Marilyn wants people to help with the walnuts, and after that we have the rest of almond harvest to work on. These things were really uniting factors, and up through the 1930s, everybody stopped what they were doing as a community and worked together. And so working as a team is a Virgo issue. And this is a time where we work together for the common good. And so, and then even that goes in Burning Man too. People, because of their cooperation together, they do great things. And I want to say to you people that feel like you're down and that you're nothing out there, rise up. Don't let them do that to yourself. Just because you don't have money to travel, it doesn't mean you can't hop on a train, on a freight car, or hitchhike. Get a gaff, get a gig. Don't let anything stop you just because you feel like you don't have enough money. There are ways out there, and I want to encourage everyone to be resourceful, to share, and that way we're going to have a magnificent time during this crucial Virgo week. We've got a new moon in Virgo coming up on the 5th of September. We're starting out this weekend with a moon in Cancer, and moon in Cancer teaches us to respect our emotions and the emotional state of others. Think about our mom, our parents, our families. And in Virgo is the one sign that's willing to improve things. So here we go, sign by sign. I look forward to being with you. So greetings Aries, and welcome to your horoscope. So you still got this whole Uranus thing happening. With Uranus in the first house, things are unpredictable, and sometimes they're very inspired. They're unconventional, they're revolutionary, but things happen quick and in weird ways, and it's hard to keep focus on all the heady activity that happens when you're having a Uranus conjunction in your life. It's serious stuff, and Uranus is an 84-year cycle planet. It's the first outer planet we were able to identify. It was at first discovered with a telescope in the 1700s, but later on we realized we could see this planet was big enough we could actually see it with our naked eye on certain nights. Saturn being a later found a luminary, it's after Saturn was Uranus is a later found a luminary, so a lot of traditional astrologers don't really include it in their reading, but modern astrologers and evolutionary astrologers, no, we're all about Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. They do stuff. We see it happen. We know it's real. But then again, I also know that you can give a good, reasonable horoscope using the other planets as teachers, and it still works. But I will say, this is a time where you're getting in touch with your independence. Now we've got Mars and Leo, so you're enjoying the creative work more. With Sun and Mercury in Virgo and new moon in Virgo later on this week, it's really time to get your service work together and to work as a team. Or if you're having health problems, this is a great time to get a new start in your health. Do you know that fall is going to be the most important season in the northern hemisphere, especially if you live north of 30 degrees north latitude, to get your health together? Because that way when colder weather comes on, you'll be able to resist, and not get sick so easy. So now's the time to stop eating junk and eat good things. And the other thing is, here in Northern California, September is the month where summer and fall meet, and so we have all the good food. So for you Aries, this is your time to enjoy lots of good produce and work as a team and work on your health. My ears are burning. My ears are burning, Margie. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. we've got Venus in Libra, so it's still 6th house time. You know, one of the things to do when Venus is in your 6th house making a transit is to buy yourself a new outfit. And an outfit particularly for work. Something that you work in, makes you look nice, makes your co-workers feel good. I had some very nice looking co-workers. You know, I thought to myself, my gosh, I wonder if I could tell my boss to get equally nice looking co-workers. I mean, that's not really something you're ever supposed to say. But it would be nice. I mean, could I say that the ugly co-workers are harassing me because it's just harassing to my eyes to have to look at that? No, I can't say that. But, you know, in Virgo time, we tend to be very discriminating, so we would look at things like this. Virgo rules your 5th house, Taurus, so it's all about the love right now. It's all about opening your heart, feeling that love, affirming that love, sharing that love, wearing that love, being more creative, being more artistic, and enjoying your children more if you have children. I'd say partnership issues and the limits therein, you're much more realistic about them. It's either going to work or it's not. And you have to face that reality if you want to be there for the long run. Well, greetings, Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. So your Mercury ruled sign, just like Virgo. And what's the difference? Well, Gemini, you're more concerned with pretty much everything. Virgo's a little more snobbish. They're into specific things. And they like to deal with the microcosm of them, the deep-rooted as to why. And Gemini's more like, well, you know, let's check this out, then we're going to check this out, and after that, we're done with that, we're going to check this out. And then we'll talk about it and see what we make sense of. And in some ways, you know, because Virgo is really hung up on the science, really hung up on the details. It can be almost annoying to Gemini. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, can't you just chill out from all the criticism and how much pollution everything has and how many calories or sugar or trans fats or whatever it is, and just enjoy life for a second? You hypervigilant Virgo freak, you. You know, everybody. Yeah, that's part of the game, you know. And so I had warned Virgo last week. See what you did? You just pissed off Gemini. Well, you know, Virgo's all about your family issues too. So if you're a Gemini, chances are good that you had either Virgo parents or a Virgo-like atmosphere that was full of education, certain peculiar practices, and their own discriminating taste, and you know, whatever went on. Maybe a knowledge of medicine and health and healing. You know, at best, you know, we can promote that. So since this is a very Mercury time, and we've got a new moon coming up on Thursday, I would say, and since the moon even on Wednesdays in Virgo, so that's going to be very, you know, there's a Mercury vibe. It's not Vedic Virgo, but we'll just say it's a Virgo vibe. You know, just focus on service. The other thing I wanted to say is Shana Tova to people of the Jewish faith. And one thing I want to say is that Judaism is a religion, folks. It is not an ethnicity. You know, most of these people that are from Eastern Europe, they're Jewish, are like barely 3% Hebrew or something. You know, that's Hebrew is an ancestry. Those are Semitic people. You know, along with people from Jordan and Lebanon. You know, those are Semitic people. So, I mean, I really like to clear up the misinformation. I don't know. I mean, you people in Europe, you're probably really smart and you know about this type of thing. But here in the States, you know, education means people will show up at the protest. You know, keep them dumb and at the Walmart. So now it's like illegal to protest. I guess that's the new thing because it's trespassing. So everybody don't protest. You know, they're watching you. They think your life is interesting. Theirs must be very boring. Oh, I'm having a good time. Oh boy, let's see now. Greetings, Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. So it's kind of nice that we, what are we doing here? We're starting the weekend with the moon in your sign. I really think like Cancer is, to me, is like a real teacher sign during this time. It's like, how can we have a memory for history? How can we infuse people to respect each other like they're family members on a good level? Welcome in. You know, like my warm Lebanese family. You know, they just want to hug you and hold you and say, I love you. You know, we need to be more like that. You know, we need to be in that place where we can embrace each other and share more positive warmth. And you've got that special gift. And Virgo time for you is a time to get to know your neighbors, to get to know family, especially your siblings and cousins and friends from high school and college. People that know you in a really deep way from way back when. This is a good time to get together with them and to work out where you want to go next. Educate yourself, travel a little bit, get to appreciate your environment. I really think it's important to find a spiritual purpose and to find some nature near where you live, even if you're in an urban area. You know, we've got to honor the earth where we're at. So, greetings Leo, and welcome to your horoscope. So Virgo time is all about the second house. Second house is money, money, money. And when you live in a capitalistic, greedy, status climbing culture, where you got to have the most groovy, important phone, you know, these are the important things, with all the information and latest technology, oh, and the best kind of car too, you know, that facilitates your great image. It's an interesting thing, and what I've noticed is among the poorer classes of Americans, they would rather have a better car than a better house. And I don't understand that because, you know, cars only last about, 13, 14 years usually, not that long. And houses can last generations, even a couple hundred years or so. And they're worth more and they get more valuable, whereas cars get cheaper and cheaper and they're worth less. And it's just like people aren't really thinking. So Leo, even though you think that's a really flashy car and it's all image and fluff, dude, you're being ghetto. You're totally playing yourself by buying something like that. Virgo demands that you be practical. It says build a garden. Have a fall garden. Have some extra food. Have some potatoes for next year. Plant some garlic and harvest some garlic for next year. Do things that are intelligent, that are simple, that are low-level investments, but that yield something that's meaningful and joyful. You know, the other day I was like picking in my own garden, and I have these yellow pear tomatoes growing. They're little things. But to me, it was like on a Thursday, and I thought to myself, this is like gold coming to me right here. This is the gold, you know, and I would say that to you, Leo, is find that gold and that expression in much more accessible, creative, simple, joyful ways versus these ridiculous getting into debt things and stuff. You don't want to do that to yourself. And your friends are never impressed, okay? They like the yellow pear tomatoes. Stick with that. Greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. And by the way, happy birthday. This is the ultimate Virgo week. We've got a new moon in Virgo. The new moon officially happens Thursday at 4:36 in the a.m. That means that both Wednesday and Thursday have that new moon vibe. We're going into the black. We're going into the dark. We're just letting go of all that past stuff. And with Virgo, there's sort of like this sign that sort of is able to rejoice in a disaster. Well, if it's an earthquake, that means we get to start all over again from scratch. You know, if it's a flood, it's a renewing. If there's a disaster, it's going to bring people together and we will serve each other and make it work. You know, it's a shame that when things are good, we get so caught up in our aspirations that we separate ourselves from each other. We like to individualize each other, and it's kind of fun too because it's really nice to pimp each other out. I mean, I'm a little Afro-Eurocentric, I'll admit it. I like our cultures. You know, I like the culture of Western Europe. I like the culture of Africa. One of the reasons why is because I like the fact that the people pimp themselves out, that they get dressed up and they do funny, festive things, and they're not completely concerned with being like everybody else. Now, here's the downfall. When you're not able to cooperate, you don't get as much done. So, even though you're willing to be a loner, Virgo, I mean, I'd say your ability to cooperate gets more of what you really want in life. And people are listening to what you have to say. You have a good consciousness. You've got a new moon on Thursday. You'll really have the floor that day. And Virgo is like that bridge of characterization that gives us really good character. We don't take ourselves so seriously anymore. it's funny. You know, sometimes when we slip and fall on a banana peel, it's funny. Okay? We get dirty. We like mud baths. You know, there's just funny things that we do. And it's okay. Get up. Don't be caught up in the criticism, but rather look for things that you can critically compliment and be happy about. That's the real smart Virgo, that knows to teach its mind to go to the places that make it happiest. Greetings, Libra, and welcome to your horoscope. Now you're really concerned about other people's happiness. You know, everybody's happy, then I feel pretty good. You know, so you're really sensitive and tuning in to how other people feel in their environment. Your Venus-ruled sign, Venus is in your first house right now. You feel very relaxed. You feel very willing to spread love and beauty to others right now. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a good thing. Sometimes when you're too accommodating, you become a pushover and people take advantage of you. And then so when this happens, you're often in psychosis, say, well, this doesn't reflect my true personality of wanting to be nice. You know, there's a really good Shakespeare play on that issue. It's called Timons of Athens, something like that, you know, and I just watched it. And it was like somebody being super nice, but he overextended his resources, and when he was down, none of his friends wanted to help him. Horrible story, you know, and so he ultimately turns his back on humanity and goes into a really bad depression because of this. You know, for you right now, it's like making good karma. Help people that are isolated, people that are in prisons. You know, there's no shortage of those people in the state I live. You know, a lot of them were fasting for just to stop group punishment and isolation, solitary confinement, things like that. And most of them are just for things that they're not real threats to society, you know, drug offenses, maybe they're not paying their tickets, you know, and they're habitual offenders of bucking the system, who knows, and some of them, unfortunately, are really violent people. I mean, look at our TV shows. In this country, we're way more squeamish about sex than we are about violence. So it's really hard, you know. And, greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. Your Mars ruled, it's Virgo time. For you right now, this is about making good social contacts, meeting intelligent people that are helpful friends that are going to be able to move your trip forward. New moon this week affirms that. There might be actually, who knows, maybe there'll be this well-to-do woman of wisdom that's willing to invest in you and help you out. I mean, that sounds awesome. I'd be willing to accept that. Wow. It's a great horoscope. You know, being in an environment of intelligent people that don't just accept things at surface value. I love deep discussions. I love it when people question things. And even though there's a lot of times there are ridiculous conspiracy theories that come up, at the same time it's like, I love the fact that people are questioning things. Well, what if something went like this, you know? And I think it's whenever we question and whenever we feel freest to have an exchange of ideas, that's when we come up with the most incredible inventions, the greatest solutions, and wonderful resolutions. So let freedom reign, people. That's what I would say. That's a great value that I got as an American. So Scorpio, for you, it's about being mature. It's about being just. That's what you're hungry for. You want to show people that you're mature right now, that you're a fair person, that you're just. You have good friends, and you know, there's a little bit of, you know, performance with Mars in your midheaven. Right now, your talents and skills are being seen, and you're going to rock them. And there's just no two ways about it. You have to do this. Neptune and Chiron in your fifth house, when you're creative, it's healing for you. So be creative for your own health's sake. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So Virgo time rules the 10th house for Sagittarius. And 10th house is a conscious house. This is the house that sees the light of day. This is where your talents and skills, and these are what abilities you have that you're known for in the public. This is kind of what people see you doing in a lot of ways. This is where you fit in to the general society at large. So Virgo in the midheaven. Well, you know, Virgo because it's a Mercury ruled sign, likes to work with its hands. It has keen analytical abilities, and so it shows intelligence in the workplace. It also shows an ability to serve. You know, it sometimes means like crawling under buildings and going into places that might be really difficult to go to, or having to deal with sewage or waste products. You know, Virgo is very good at dealing with elimination and things like that, and that's where your work is. You can deal with some of the harder stuff and be humble about it. Be cool. It's like, hey, somebody's got to do it. You know, what's the big deal? You have a good attitude. Generally, Sagittarius is known for having a good attitude. But I'd say at worst, you have more responsibility at this time, and you'd really like to take a vacation. Your wanderlust, since Mars has moved into your ninth house, is super strong. And so it's like, wow, I want to get out and do some things, you know. I want to see some stuff and really get down with a new view on life. But in the meantime, you're going to have to pay off some old debts because of where Jupiter's at, and be able to transform what your current financial situation into one that is more equitable, that's more even, and allows you opportunities to be more generous, which is like your true nature. You're a very giving sign, and we love it when you're happy, because you know what happens is you can never outgive God. Whenever you give, something comes back to you. This is a universal truth that many of us believe. Okay, so greetings Capricorn, welcome to your horoscope. Virgo time for Capricorn is an awesome time. It is a time of ninth house rulership. Ninth house is really like the PhDs, the high priest, the Dalai Lama, the Pope, you know, you name it, who's up there in the spiritual world. I mean, I like mushrooms, so I'm going to say Paul Stamets, you know, he's up there too. You know, because when I say this is like, you know, there's healing properties to the earth that he's exposing, that we can help get together and unite forces in the planet to do something that's curing and healing the earth and being productive and giving everyone something good to do and giving everyone better health. Why would we be afraid of this? I think we live in a fantastic time. You know, your key phrase, Capricorn, is I use. So I would definitely check out this stuff of mycelium remedies for both physical health and for planetary pollution. You will be amazed. And because you love the earth. And also, your thinking cap is on right now. Ninth house means higher knowledge, higher smarts. The big degrees. So this is not a time for Capricorn to be dense. This is not a time for Capricorn to be shy. It's time for you to take on some bigger challenges, to get published, to win and see yourself as a winner. Greetings Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. Now with Saturn in the midheaven, it's all about work. And Virgo, in your 8th house, Virgo's a worker, you know. But I mean, if you were a really eccentric Aquarius woman, you might be, or a man, you might be a sex worker. If you had, you know, say a Virgo moon or something, and you just like, hey, this is how I'm making money. You know, it's you know, it's the 8th house. 8th house is sex, death, other people's property, and it could be a humbling place to be. I mean, that's not the only thing that could happen. You could also be a psychologist and get into other people's heads. You know, uncovering things, a good detective. Or you could be a psychic reader too. I mean, all of these things could be facilitated from this. So, you know, Virgo activates your ESP. And Saturn in Scorpio helps you be a more responsible leader. Uranus in Aries helps you make friends spontaneously, right where you live. And you're that kind of person, you're that type of gal, that type of guy that just usually has the ability, fine with everybody, I can be comfortable with everybody. In fact, the fact that everyone's different makes life so much more fascinating and fun. You know, it's more entertaining when there's more players. Good thing not everybody's alike. Well, greetings Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. So, for you right now, you're Neptune and Jupiter ruled, so we'll talk Jupiter talk first. Jupiter's in a wonderful place this year. Jupiter's in your 5th house. That is all about expanding your heart, number one. If you have children, they should be doing good. If they've been doing bad before, put all your love and attention to them. They will grow. They will do better, okay? So you Pisces people, Pisces rising with kids, that's number one. We've got to bring up our children right. Number two, your lover. If you have a lover, just, enjoy the love right now, because this is when things are good. You're a little bit luckier, travel goes well, creative opportunities go well, your ability to be a teacher or a leader goes well. Pay attention to where your father's at. Now, of course, Virgo's your partnership sign, so marriage, anything to do with love, anything to do with work and contracts, be very conscious. This is what is happening right now, and with the new moon this week, you could renew your relationship. You could either get engaged, you could get married, you could start a love affair with somebody else totally different. That's always exciting. You could end up seeing things from a different perspective, because other people will be telling you, hey, this is what I appreciate about you, this is what I'd like to see from you. And the more flexible we can be, even though we're sensitive people, the happier we'll be. And the better time we'll have with everyone. And I'm hoping that all our relationships will be expanded and that we can feel safe in our naked selves with each other. See you next week on the Planetary Persuader.
Citizen Television.